Hey everyone, come with us to Phuket, Thailand. This trip was a little different, slower, more present, and honestly our favorite one yet. So come along and let me show you what we did. One of our first stops on our way to the airport was our favorite noodle shop. We never travel on an empty stomach, so it's really nice to have so many convenient options around. After that, coffee in hand, we made our way to the metro. The metro is our first choice for transportation since there's no traffic and no stress, and it guides us right into the airport terminal. We then boarded our favorite airline, Sichuan Airlines. We genuinely look forward to the in-flight meal. If you ever fly Sichuan Airlines, do not skip the chili sauce. It's ridiculously good. My husband always wants me to try both dishes they offer and asks if they have any extra meals, and almost every time they happily give him one. We knew we finally arrived in Phuket when we felt the warm, humid air that hits you instantly. I'm curious, have any of you been to Phuket before? Let me know in the comments below. After arriving, we headed straight to our hotel in Patong Beach. We've been to Phuket a handful of times before, and we always drift back to Patong. There are three main popular beach areas in Phuket: Patong, Karon, and Kata. Karon and Kata are beautiful, but Patong has the convenience and energy we like to be around. We dropped our bags and headed straight to Malin Plaza night market, which has our favorite seafood stall. We had simple food but delicious flavor. The next morning, we woke up to a massive storm, and the street behind our hotel was completely flooded. But the incredible thing is that within just a few hours, it was like it never happened. The drains did their job, the sun came out, and the streets were dry again. The rest of the day became all about slowing down. Breakfast, coffee by the pool, walks on the beach. Sometimes the best travel days have no itinerary at all. That evening, we took a taxi out to a different market for dinner. The road there is super windy, and I always get super dizzy driving up and down it since the turns are sharp and there's a lot of movement going on the road. However, the destination was quite worth it. More incredible street food. We actually ended up getting a chicken shawarma wrap, which was delicious. When we travel to other countries, we typically stick to local cuisine, but sometimes we like to add in cuisine from other regions. The next day was one I'd been dreaming about, finally visiting the elephants at Camp Chang Kalim. We got picked up by the classic Thai open-air minibus. Locals call it a tuk-tuk. When we arrived, the elephants were busy taking people on tours and their trunks were searching for snacks. They were very adorable. While we waited our turn, the weather changed dramatically to heavy tropical downpour. But almost magically, right when it was time to ride, the rain stopped. Our elephant's name was Natasha. She was 27 years old and so calm and gentle. We took so many photos. It was one of those moments you know you'll replay in your mind forever. Back in Patong that evening, we watched the sunset. There was a deep blue color stretching across the ocean after the storm. After dinner, we also found a street stall making Thai crepes and ordered one with banana and chocolate Nutella. It was crispy, sweet, and perfect. However, it did take us 2 days to eat as Nutella was quite heavy for us since we typically don't eat sweets, but it was a very nice treat. The next day we had nothing scheduled, so we spent some time relaxing by the pool and ending our evening with our favorite barbecue fish. The next morning, we started on our full-day island boat tour, starting at AA Marina Pier. They handed out motion sickness pills as we boarded, which we gratefully accepted, and honestly, they worked perfectly the whole day. We took a 45-minute ride to our first stop, which was an island called Koh Khai Nai, a tiny island with white sand. We spent a while just sitting on the beach watching the crystal water. Then, just 10 minutes away, we arrived at Monkey Bay on Phi Phi Island. We weren't sure if the monkeys would be out, but they were out hanging on the trees on the shore, totally unfazed by us. We then had lunch at Maiyada restaurant on Tonsai Beach. They served traditional Thai food and it was actually quite delicious. After lunch, we spent some peaceful moments walking around the beaches as we waited to board our boat for the next stop. We then headed over to Loh Sama Bay, which is a stunning bay famous for its long-tailed boats. We ended up swimming right off the boat, surrounded by the cliffs and turquoise water. We also spent some time on the boat taking photos and just enjoying the scenery. Many people got off the big boat onto the long-tail boats to take photos, but for us, we stayed on the big boat and had our own private boat experience because most guests were on different smaller boats. Then came snorkeling time. I saw so many fish in the water, and I'll be honest, about 10 years ago, I would have never gone in the water. But in recent years, I have come to be more flexible and open to new experiences. I really find the most beautiful experiences happen outside of what feels comfortable. Moving abroad really pushed me to live that truth, and now I wouldn't trade it for anything. Next stop was Maiyada Bay, the jewel of Phi Phi Island. As we arrived, another rainstorm hit and we waited under shelter watching the rain pound on the sand. We only had about 30 minutes there, so we were hoping it would clear up, and then suddenly it cleared. The beach emerged, impossibly beautiful. My husband actually came here 9 years ago and always dreamed of bringing me back here. So standing there together felt like a full circle moment, so we took many photos to enjoy that moment. We then took a 45-minute bumpy ride back to Phuket Island, and before we arrived, we dropped anchor in the middle of the sea so we could spend some time jumping in the water and going down the slide. We all really felt like kids again, and it was such a fun moment for us.
Did you just belly flop?
On a slow cruise back to the marina, we saw the most beautiful sunsets shining through the windows of the boat, and it was quite an amazing experience. We ended our night at a local restaurant called Duty, and it has local Thai food, which is really delicious. The next day, we woke up to a beautiful sunny morning. We had no schedule, just wanted to take the day in as it goes, wandering, talking, and watching yet another gorgeous Patong sunset. In the evening, we walked down Bangla Road, which is Patong's famous party strip. It has lots of flashing lights, music, bars, and clubs everywhere. It's not really our cup of tea, but it was on the way to dinner, and it was certainly an experience for us. On our last full day, we headed to Karon Beach to a famous cliffside cafe called Laem Sai. It's one of those places people travel to just for photos, and I definitely understand why. The view of the ocean through the trees was breathtaking. We felt like we were in a treehouse overlooking the ocean with many layers and views. I highly recommend anyone visiting Phuket to visit this place for beautiful photos. We ended the trip as we always do, sunset and a local night market in Kata Beach, eating our staples of fried rice, morning glory, shrimp, and squid. We eat simply when we travel, fresh food, big flavors, and nothing complicated. Traveling with someone from another culture really opens up so much opportunity. You see things through multiple lenses at once. We've come to Phuket many times, but this trip was the richest because we made a real choice to be present, to protect our time, and to not bring our distraction with us, and that changed absolutely everything. If stories about travel, culture, and finding time for the people you love are your thing, hit subscribe and we'd love to share more with you.